Welcome back, dear students. In this lesson, we are going to look through a thought through anchor features. By now, you already have idea from previous lesson what anchor is. Is a very, very good essential tool to speed up your development on Solana. So, and I want us to just have a few thoughts about the features, about what it is, and you can check my other courses. I hope maybe by the time you'll be watching would have probably planned to come up with a full course about anchor on its own. But for now, let's just briefly browse through and check if the course is already available on the platform to enroll for it free. So let's check that out. The first thing I want to do is you get your local file where you want to work. Here I just want to pull up this, open a new terminal so open in terminal. Now I'm on Linux, so this is the folder where I want to create. So you also just create a folder that will hold your codes and tests for our courses and things like that. So maybe DPU courses, then inside it you have open new terminal. Inside there, so you put this anchor in it as like initialize. Then let's call this SERC 20 SPL token. So then you put this flag Solidity. If you do not put that flag, anchor, by default, initially anchor works just with Rust. So it will assume you want to create a Rust base and it will create it for you. So, but instead we want it to set up for Solidity. So you click this, and this could take a while depending on your network. At times could take long if your network is not fast, because it's going to do about a bunch of things like install the initialize the anchor, then make sure it set up some of the packages you will need. Then I think it's as well, it set up a GitHub, empty GitHub for you, and then a bunch of other things like that which demand that your network is fast, the tests set up and things like that. I got this already installed, which, like I told you, depending on your network, and it has installed a lot of things, I think, including yarn setup for the packages and some things like that. Remember I told you that it will initialize an empty Git repo. You can see it here already. So that's set up now. The next thing we want to do is to open this up so that we can just have a quick glance of how the anchor folder is, so that from next section we'll start going deep into the syntax, the code, variables, and some other things before we start using it actually to build. So let's just do shortcut code dots. So to open this particular folder for us, so I can trust the author. Can minimize this offer. So we got this now, and as you can see, it's if you open here, we have the ERC SPL token, and you can see it, those things that contain the app for your front end. So this, like I told you, is like a tour through Anchor features. So hopefully, maybe by the time you'll be watching this, if I've done the full Anchor course, you can check it out and enroll for it free as well. But for now, just bit of what you need to know to be able to work with it. So this can house your front end code. Then this migration, you don't need. This is already like part of things that is used to deploy. For example, if you are working with some other tools to deploy on EVM, then you will have to have things like this deploy script and all those things. So the node module, as usual, you don't, all these are auto-generated. This node module, once you run the yarn and all those things, you remember I said some of those things have been pre-installed for us, as I have yarn lock and all those things. Then this is the major Solidity file. You can see it based on the name we use when we are setting up the anchor, the name of the folder. So it also sets it as the name. When you click it, you have an example of a Solidity, Solang Solidity for Solana. So, and then you have this test file. The test folder is for like you're having your front end code to test your smart contract if all these functions and everything in there are working as expected without actually setting up the full front end. So that's what the test file is, to help us test. So if you run it, you'll be able to confirm that these are working or not. Then you have your git ignore, usually things to ignore. Then your prettier to organize the code. Then this is another important file, which is the anchor.toml tom or toml file. So this like similar to your let's say package JSON when you are doing Node.js and things like that. So that's, you remember when we installed Node.js, all those things, is because of all these packages. So it's just the same, but this what Anchor uses to know what you need. For example, the program cluster, is it local net, is it, we've discussed about mainnet, that's when we talk about the different something you have. We have the mainnet, the testnet, and the devnet. Yeah, we discuss it here. So I didn't include that, which is the local net, and that one is just basically working on your using your own PC as a node to process all the transaction and everything. So usually it's not something you will be using most time, but for testing things initially it's also okay. So because you don't need to go and be getting airdrop of token or something. But if it will only be on your system, others cannot see what you have deployed and things like that. But if it's on the devnet, then others can see it and it's still free for you. Then if it's on mainnet, it's paid, others can see it and use it because it's the main network. So the same for Ethereum, EVM, the mainnet and the testnet. Then when you use some local network as well are there for the vanilla Solidity for Ethereum, EVM. So when you are using them as well, using Ganache and some other things, you can create your normal local devnet blockchain on Ethereum and things for testing. So now you can see that this indicates, and you can see we have the program ID. All these things, just don't worry, we'll take it step by step. Like I said, I always ensure I try my best to make sure the courses I do on the programming university actually is easy to follow step by step with even less need of support at times, and also don't run on assumption. Yeah, so that's why you should just keep calm, just try to read through just a thought, and you'll still understand better how all these things works. So then you can see like the provider as well, local net, the local network, and then this script is what we run this script to test the smart contract out for us. Then you have the package JSON. At least this deals with all the package, npm packages and all those things you are using with this project, especially with the test file. So, or for example, if you import some things like the SPL token program that we're still going to do and all those things, or you use things like Web3.js, and so you may need to also have them added as either dependency or dev dependencies. So dev dependencies are just there for development, and this goes even into production. Now other ones you can just ignore, like this TypeScript configuration and yarn lock. I think these are generated for us, and they are usually okay at the default level. So what you usually adjust will be this, depending if you are adding some dependencies. Then anchor Tom, if you want to change from local to devnet and things like that, which we all still did together. Then also the test and the actual Solidity, Solang Solidity smart contract or program code. So that's just the tour across Anchor, and I know there's another option for you to develop without using Anchor. You can still build with Solang and develop it directly and deploy, but for me, I've decided to go this route because there are a lot of primitive things that have been done based on my experience, because I started going through Solana with Rust initially. Then Solang came up and wow, I'm already more into Solidity already. So that's why I decided to take it, and eventually discover there's little to no content here. So I decided to start rolling this helpful content, starting with this course, which is like the first Solang Solidity course you find out there. Though by the time you'll be watching, there might have been multiple. You understand? But presently it is the first. So these are things that help, encourage me, like, okay, let me give my best to this and get to learn, know more, and understand, and also share. So if you have questions, you get stuck, you can ask. That's why I decided to pick Anchor, because a lot has been done, and when we start developing, you will see it. When I was using Rust, trying to use Rust to develop a lot of things, when you use native or vanilla Rust, you understand. But when you use Anchor with Rust for Solana, then your development, get enhanced and get speed up. That's it for this lesson. I remain Solomon Foske. Keep the programming spirit high and alive, your only assurance to succeed in the long term as a programmer. And please always do good to humanity and nature with your programming skill and not evil. That's it. See you in the next lesson. Bye.